This podcast is intended for adults 18 years and older. It contains explicit language and sexual situations. All thoughts and opinions expressed are of our own and not of those of any specific group, employer, or individual, and is not intended to take as professional advice.
Welcome to the Foreplay Podcast. Join the journey, experiences, and sexual adventures of two high school sweethearts navigating through the swinging lifestyle as millennials. Come along for the ride. Dare to play?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Foreplay Podcast. This is Bella.
This is Jase.
Today's episode is a review on the most recent Temptation cruise, which was Temptation Cruise March 2026 on the Norwegian Pearl.
This podcast is also a video format, so if you guys would like to kind of, we're going to talk about the playroom, we're going to talk about all these different areas on the ship and things like that. So if you guys want to see some visuals from this, we'd highly recommend watching a YouTube video. You go to foreplay.com/YouTube. It's the number 4, OURPLAY.com/YouTube. And that way you can kind of see all the videos as well.
And if our content helps you out at all and you'd like to help support the channel and help us be able to continue to create content like this and help others on their lifestyle journey, we'd greatly appreciate if you'd consider using our links to book your next future spicy cruise, next Temptation cruise at foreplay.com/cruise. It's completely free to you. It just helps us out a ton. In addition, you'll be put into the Foreplay group.
On these cruises, we do a group dinner, we do a meetup just for everyone to kind of get to know everybody. All this is optional. You don't have to come to any of these things, but we just like to offer some ways for people to kind of hang out and get to know each other on these cruises. We also give out some free little swag that we hand make, as well as we have some ways to connect before you get on the cruise. And for everyone who does book through us, we send out a cruise guide that kind of goes over just things to know and some different tips and tricks just to make it a little bit more easier to go on a cruise and get kind of acclimated before you even step on the boat. And once again, if this information helps, we'd greatly appreciate if you did consider booking through our links at foreplay.com/cruise. It's number 4, OURPLAY.com/cruise.
This March sailing compared to the March 2025 sailing was completely different. They definitely made a lot of changes for the better from that sailing versus this sailing. However, this sailing, the March 26 sailing, was more similar to the November 25 sailing. So Temptation Cruise is definitely keeping up with changes and making other changes to make the experience even better for the guests.
So demographic-wise, on this sailing, it was a couples-only cruise. Now, moving forward, Temptation is going back to how they were before, which allows singles, and so that will start in the October sailing, so October 2026. And then as of now, for next year, there is no March sailing. There is only fall sailings. The sailings they have planned out right now are October 2026 as well as October 2027. And singles will be allowed on both of those cruises. And as far as singles go, based on the past, we've had a lot of people ask about how the singles are compared to like the resort. From the people that we have met on these cruises that have been singles, they have been very respectful people who are more aware of like what the lifestyle is and the more common rules and boundaries that people have in the lifestyle. Demographic-wise, Temptation is also a younger crowd. It's around that 35 to 45 is the main demographic, which is definitely younger. It's also a very good-looking crowd, but you are going to have people, that are younger than that, older than that. Is a bell curve like all of these. The other thing about the demographic, it is not a lifestyle demographic. It's not a lifestyle cruise per se. It is an adult spring break cruise that is very lifestyle friendly. Now, we do feel like a lot of people that we meet are in the lifestyle, but if they're not, it's at least people that are aware of the lifestyle or maybe people that are curious about the lifestyle in general. It is also a very party crowd. Everyone is there to seem to have a very good time. It is party heavy. Now, yes, there's places to relax and have a relaxing vacation if that is what you're looking for, but definitely a party crowd. And the other thing is there was definitely a lot of newbies on this sailing. Not as many as there was on the past November sailing, but definitely there was a lot of newer people on this cruise ship. And so it's a really awesome option if you are new in your lifestyle journey and you kind of want to get a taste of it. A cruise like this is great.
The length was 5 nights, and really for Temptation Cruise, because it really is so party heavy, we feel like 5 nights is perfect. If it was more than that, like a 7-night Temptation Cruise, I think would be quite overkill for us personally, but 5 nights we feel like is really good for Temptation Cruise. Again, the ship was on the Norwegian Pearl. We'd say this is a mid-sized ship. There was about 2,400 guests on here, and for a cruise like this, we feel like that's really perfect. It's big enough to where you are meeting a lot of new people and meeting a lot of people, but you can also usually find people pretty easily as well because all of the parties, and we'll get more into this a bit later, but since a lot of people usually congregate in the same areas, because a ship isn't too big, you usually also run into the same people quite often. So we really like this size of ship for Temptation Cruise.
Next, we are going to get into how the ship was organized and also kind of some of the parties that were going on in these areas. The first thing we're going to talk about is the playroom. I feel like that is everyone's biggest question every single time. The playrooms have changed a lot. Last March, they were not near as good, and then in the fall sailing, they changed a lot for the better, and they kept up with those changes by actually think they're even better this time. The playroom's broken into 3 different sections. So you have your more BDSM dungeon type area. It has red light. It's a very sensual feel. It's a little bit darker. There is a bunch of different just dungeon type equipment that you can use. There is glory holes, reverse glory holes, a really cool area. And then actually next to that, with one of the changes is they had a group bed. Last time there was just the individual beds, which were really nice. They have some curtains that you kind of, they're sheer, you can close them. So it's a little bit more of that semi-private area, but this time they did have a group bed. And then you go into the area that I would say is more of the voyeuristic exhibitionist area. It's still darker. It has a purplish feel, but it's a little bit brighter. There is a bunch of beds in this area, and they actually kind of changed these throughout the night. Some nights they were individual beds, and then the last night they actually moved all the beds together to almost make one huge group bed, which was really, really cool. And then you also have a neon jungle, which is this greenish lit area. It has this green-blue feel. There's all these neon lights. There's a bunch of individual beds in there as well. Some of them do have some of those curtains you can close, but some are just kind of open. It's also in this auditorium type seating, so you can kind of get a seat and watch what's going on all around. And it's really cool because you can walk from one area of the playroom to the next, and it makes a really cool feel overall. So we really hope they keep up with the playrooms and keep them like this because we love them. And I love that they have the group beds now because it really feels like they're playing more to that lifestyle atmosphere, and it is a couples only playroom. So when they have the singles on, you're not going to be able to just go into the playroom as a single, but the playrooms are really nice overall. They have towels, they have water, protection, all those types of things as well. And so the playroom's a huge upgrade, and we really, really hope they keep it up with that. The next area is the pool area. This is where they did the pool parties. We're going to kind of get into both. It was changed this year, and I thought it was for the best. They had 2 pools on this ship, but one of the pools was covered and it had this grassy lawn type area with a stage next to it. And then you had your other pool that was open, that was a normal type pool. And there was also a couple hot tubs. There was actually more hot tubs, but a couple of them were closed that were over by that grassy area. But the grassy area made for a really awesome area during the day and the evenings. It's where they did the parties at night. And so you had an area right next to that stage you kind of dance. You could also dance in the middle area, but it gave you a much bigger dance floor, which felt really, really cool. Also in the daytime, this is where they did some of the pool games, like we had the Jello wrestling, and they did different games over in this stage and pool area. And then you had the actual pool that you could use more as a pool, and it made it much more busy, which for me, I feel like makes a lot of sense. Temptation is more of that party feel, and so since that pool is a little bit more crowded, it kind of makes for that better talking area. But if you're looking for more of a quiet pool, you definitely did not have this on that cruise. But for Temptation being a party cruise, I feel like these areas worked really, really well.
The setup in this area where the pools were was so different from both the March and the November sailing from last year. So they had almost a music festival looking vibe. The stage was huge. It was like risen, and we don't know if this is because they had multiple like music charters before and after, so maybe the setup was just like that for all of the cruises. We're not completely sure, but with the lawn area, it felt like a festival. It was really neat. People were sunbathing on there. And again, it did make it for a better area to dance. And it felt nice on your feet because it wasn't so hot. And since it did have more of that open music kind of festival vibe, it really lent itself to be even like a more better party atmosphere when the parties were able to be outside at night. Up on the stage, sometimes the playmakers also went up there. They did some go-go dancing. They also did some little activities up there. So some of the games they actually brought up on that outdoor stage area. Additionally, there was a lot of seating around the pool area, a lot of lounge chairs, and there was an upper deck as well that also had a lot of lounge chairs. And this kind of goes for all cruises, even vanilla cruises, but you'll see chairs get taken and have, you know, the towels on them. So it's not like it was like really easy to find a seat places, but that is kind of is what it is when it comes to cruising in general. I guess even at resorts and stuff. I don't know why people are like this, but if you're not in the chair and you're not planning on coming back, you know, every, 10 minutes or so to hang out, I don't really know why people want to just have that chair or that lounge chair taken the entire day.
Yeah, you did have a few more chairs on like the upper deck, and there was another even higher deck where people kind of sunbathe. There was a few more chairs towards there and the outskirts as well if you wanted to sit, but if you want to be that main party area, definitely what she said, it was very difficult to get a chair, which is kind of unfortunate at times. And for those night parties, they started around 11, which felt kind of late. Glow night was earlier, it was 10. There was another party at 10, so the parties were kind of all over the place with the timing. You would get that update in your cruise compass every day, but they generally started around 11, which was a little bit late. They kind of got busy at that 11:30-ish time, and around 1:30 they tended to die down a little bit more. It was kind of interesting. In the past, I feel like some of the Temptations have gone really, really hard, really, really late, and people go to the after party, It seems to be like now more people are maybe leaving that party at 1:30 or 2 to go to the playrooms, because I think now you have one of those group beds. It's feeling a little bit more lifestyle. It's already lifestyle friendly, but I feel like you're having even more option for lifestyle people. And so that's why I feel like some of the parties maybe are ending a little bit earlier. There was an after party in the atrium, which was a cool area. It's right by one of the restaurants. You kind of overlook, see what's going on, dance, but those parties didn't seem quite as busy as they were in the past. Also, a couple nights we did have weather that was not very good. It was really windy, so they moved the parties into the atrium, and it was pretty busy in there. The atrium is not the biggest area, so with that many people partying, it definitely was a little bit tight. It was still fun, just a little bit hot, sweaty. My only real complaint about the atrium was some of the lighting. They had all this nice purple, red, fine lighting, but then there was almost this yellow lighting at point, which was kind of like a spotlight, which I felt really bright in the middle of a dark party like that. So I would love if there was no lights like that, but I do find the atrium is a good second option. And so at least they were able to make the party move inside, which gave you that really fun option since you couldn't party outside every single night.
When it comes to the bars, so with Temptation Cruise, every booking comes with the drink package. So it includes alcoholic beverages up to a certain amount. I believe it's either $12 or $14. Anything above that, you would just pay the extra. And so bars were always very busy because everybody had a drink package. There were plenty of bars available. Most of them were always pretty busy, like I was saying, because everybody did have a drink package. Our tip with that is if the party is, so say the party is outside at night, then the pool deck bars will probably be more busy than the inside bar. So then if it was, the line was too long there, then we would go inside to like the atrium bar or something like that. So there definitely was a ton of different areas for you to get drinks.
It was kind of nice though, because at points, the ones that tended to have longer lines were kind of in the party areas. And so it was a good place to talk to people. So you might be waiting in line, but you can kind of make some new friends along the way. But then early in the day, or maybe the ones that are less popular, you kind of had a chill area where people would be sitting there just having conversations. So all the bars and all those lines really did lead to making new friends and just having fun conversations.
Other amenities included the casino that you could go to. There was a spa that you could go to. Of course, those aren't included in your cabin price. There was the fitness center, and there was a sports court outside. There was this golf area thing where you could practice. I don't know anything about sports, but you could practice your swinging. It wasn't like mini golf. It was just almost like a cage where you could just swing the ball. How do you say that? As you can tell, I don't play any golf.
I think that's a perfect thing to leave. I loved how that sounded.
And there also was a big chessboard. That was kind of cool that you could go do. All of these things were not very popular. People were definitely either relaxing or partying. Inside the fitness center bathroom, there was a sauna, like a steam sauna that unfortunately was broken for the week. So usually we do like to go and use that because usually those are complimentary, but they only had the saunas in the spa area that you could purchase.
Next, we're going to talk about theme nights and theme days. Temptation Cruise does do theme days as well as theme nights. I'm going to read the theme days first. And these are in the pool parties. There was a pink theme, a lifeguards theme, and then a gold theme. I was actually very surprised. A lot of people were dressed on theme. I didn't dress on theme for them because in the past, I feel like it hasn't been that much on theme. I feel like it was like 75-80% of people were on daytime themes.
Yeah, moving forward, I will definitely plan for the daytime themes because only one day I wore some gold rope. Actually, no, I did wear
pink.
Yeah, I did wear pink. It's really easy to dress up for the pool themes, so I think that's why there's even more participation.
Yeah, definitely not as elaborate type outfits. You'll just see people wearing pink shorts because it's pink, or a lifeguard hat. Like it's pretty basic stuff, but I was still surprised with how many people were on theme. I think that's pretty fun. And then as far as the nighttime themes goes, there was was a seductive control, which was your fet night. There was class of 69, which is like a school type theme. Glow Me Hard, which was the glow night. Caliente night, which was they read it as like a tribute to Mexican heritage, and just that spicy Latin fever type feel. And then there was also Iconic Affairs, which was a like famous duos. And I would say a good 95% of people dressed up on themes for this, but it is all over the place with how on theme. I said maybe someone is wearing a t-shirt. You have people who dress completely elaborate. So you don't have to dress on theme. It is whatever you want to do. But I would definitely say it felt like, I don't know, 90 to 95% of people were on theme for the theme nights.
Moving on to drinks and dining. I did touch on this in the bar section, but your cabin price does include the beverage package. And so this is, I believe it's called the unlimited bar beverage package, something like that. It includes drinks up to about $12.50 to $14, one of those prices. This beverage package does include sodas as well. And in the buffet, you could get like juices, things like that. If you did want top shelf liquor, that wasn't included. So that would just be basically if your drink that you wanted to order was above the price of what the unlimited beverage package included, you would just pay that extra. They did have a Starbucks on board, and that was not included in the normal package that came with your cabin price, but you could upgrade and get the Starbucks upgrade, so then you could get unlimited Starbucks drinks. Water bottles were also included, as well as, you know, just like normal waters and teas, coffees, like normal coffees, not the Starbucks coffees. And when it comes to dining, this is one of the biggest changes from the last March 2025 sailing. Again, the food, most of the changes from this one was pretty similar to the sailing that we went on in the fall of 2025, but there was so much of a difference between spring 25 and spring 2026. I think a lot of people weren't really happy with how Temptation Cruise was from, so say, March or the spring of 2024 to the spring of 2025, because it was such a drastic change. It was a new ship and everything, and there was a lot of different things that made it to where it didn't feel like the same Temptation Cruise experience. And now we do feel like it is back to that Temptation Cruise experience that we did back in like 23, 24, and even better, especially with the new playroom. And the food is, personally, we think really great. And the buffet area, there's like tons of different options, and really most things, I mean, tasted good. They had options that were more, I would say, not specialty items, but I know I use this example a lot, but they have like oxtail soup and things like that in like the buffet area. I wouldn't say like everything tastes good, but compared to what it was in March of 2025, it is a complete change.
I would say it's objectively good food.
Yeah.
I would say most people thought it was good. And I said, you have the healthy options, you have the late night food, you have the buffet, you have all those things that are just included, which were all great. I will say the late night buffet isn't quite as like expansive. Like there's still a lot of foods, but there's not as many like healthy options late at night, like not as many fruits and salads, which would be nice, but still a lot of options. And then they even have a later night food, which is O'Sheehan's, which is the Irish pub bar. And that food was open till I believe 4:30 or 5 in the morning. It was just little bites, but just having little bites that late at night until almost breakfast is open is really, really awesome.
And one thing about the buffet food, okay, so for example, the breakfast buffet, so it would close around 10:30 or so, and a lot of people wouldn't be up until 11:30. Like we didn't get breakfast until almost noon. And so we would go out to the outdoor deck area where they had, it was like at the very back of the buffet. So in the daytime, when there was that in-between section between, was it like 3 to 5 or so, that was really the only place to get food other than O'Sheehan's. We really think O'Sheehan's has, like, that pub place is pretty good overall majority of the time. Like I would say you can go there, like their burgers are good, their wings are good, you can get good food there. But if you didn't want to go and sit down and eat something that took a little bit longer, you would go to like the buffet area, and if the buffet was closed, there was this outdoor buffet area. Jase went and got some kind of snacks during the daytime and said that it was like not good.
I will say that part from that 3 to 5, it was not good.
Yeah.
It was like quiches and some like rough bruschetta pizza type stuff. Like that was not good. But the in between breakfast and lunch, you loved it out there.
Yeah, so that's where I was going, because so he was like, I don't know about the outdoor deck area, because when I went, that was like the one time that I could not find something that I wanted to eat, and I'm not picky. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I want breakfast food, so we went out there, and it didn't look good, right? They had these like sticky buns, which were cinnamon rolls. They called it sticky buns. It was like the best cinnamon rolls that I've had on a cruise ship. They were so good. And then the biscuits and gravy looked like rock hard and looked like they would have been horrible, but they actually tasted really good. So,
And
I don't know,
would say-
don't let your eyes, my eyes deceived me.
I would say with a lot of the food on Norwegian, it maybe does not have the most curb appeal. O'Sheehan's does. O'Sheehan, I feel like the burgers look good. I feel like it looks pretty good.
We're only talking about the buffet food.
The buffet, yeah. Even the main dining.
Main dining
looks
was
really
great, yeah.
It looks great. I will say some of the food doesn't look as good at the buffet, but I feel like consistently it is good.
Yeah.
So if it's a food you like but doesn't look as good, I would recommend trying it because it generally was really good food.
There were two complimentary main dining options. One was, I can't remember the exact name. I believe it's called Azura on this one,
Azura's,
possibly.
I think so.
And so that is the main dining that I think most people went to. So if you're listening to this, if you are a foreplay listener, we give you the tea, we give you the tips, and we give you the tricks. And we're telling you, you got to go to the other main dining, which is kind of hidden. So on the Norwegian Pearl, it was called Summer's Palace. On the Norwegian Jewel, it's called Sars Palace. So you got to find that restaurant. And it looks opulent. I mean, it is gorgeous in there. And if you go early, usually they'll sit you towards the back. I mean, you could probably even just ask. But they have these like really big, pretty windows where it's like at the back of the ship and you could see the ocean and it's so gorgeous. And it's never busy because nobody knows about it. At least whenever we go. And we usually go eat around 6. We usually eat from like 6 to 7:30, 6 to 8. And we go with a big group of people and they will seat you. I mean, we were going with like 25 couples sometimes at some points. And so we would have like almost like a little section. There was like a table of like 12 and a table of like 8 and a table of 6, and they were able to accommodate that for us. And so yeah, we highly recommend to go there. I believe the food is the same options, but as the Azura dining room, but it looks completely different and it feels completely different, and it is so nice in there. There's also room service available if that's what you wanted to do, and there were specialty dining options available as well. There was a hibachi area. I will say with the hibachi restaurant though, it was right above where the piano players were, and it was always really loud whenever we walked by there. So if I was eating there, I don't know if I would have enjoyed it that much because it was so loud every time we walked past. So
That was late at night. So maybe if you went at like 6, I don't think the piano players quite started yet. So maybe if you got an earlier dinner, it might be better. But at night when it was like 9, 8, yeah, it was definitely loud up there, which is fun if you're in the piano bar. But I mean, maybe you like that. But I feel like the chefs need to talk and stuff at the hibachi thing. So
and maybe, I mean, it wasn't blocked off or anything because it was pretty just like open. So I really feel like the sound would just carry through in there. So I don't know.
People did seem like they were having fun. Like, I saw people
Maybe
watching the
hibachi's
show.
just
Like,
loud.
maybe it's just loud in general.
Yeah.
So we didn't eat there, so we can't really say. But I do agree with her. It was pretty loud as you walked by.
And there was a specialty steak restaurant as well. So you did have more specialty dining options if that's something that you wanted to do.
Accommodation-wise, I would say it is just an overall nice ship. It is not the most modern ship. It is not an outdated ship. I feel like it's right there in between. It is very comfortable. The rooms were pretty standard type room. I will say the bathroom felt really nice. It has a huge glass shower. You could fit 2 people in there comfortably, which I feel like says a lot for a interior room on a cruise ship. I also love the Norwegian ships because the storage is really great in the rooms. Sometimes you have these big rooms and the storage is stupid. Norwegian really does a good job with shelf space, and storage just makes a massive difference.
I would say our rooms were pretty contemporary looking though, because definitely the bathrooms were like, even the inside of the shower almost looked like it wasn't marble, but it looked like that marble kind of feel, and it had that marbly pattern, and it had like contemporary art in there. The back of the bed, we had just an interior room, and on the back of the bed there was like a mirror on there that, I mean, it had like some speckles, but it definitely led to more of a like contemporary feel versus other ships accommodations can sometimes feel a bit more dated. I definitely didn't feel like that with the Norwegian Pearl and the Norwegian Jewel. They're sister ships, so it's like almost exactly the same.
I would definitely say though, overall, it is a very nice ship. The accommodation are very nice. You're gonna feel very comfortable, whatever room class you get. Overall, just a really nice ship.
This podcast is brought to you by us, Bella and Jase. If you're going on a vacation, or maybe you have a gift that you want to give your other lifestyle friends and you're looking for lifestyle clothing, we have the best apparel on the market for you. We have not only clothing, bikinis, swimsuits, we have backpacks, tumblers, cups, anything that you can name, we probably have it. You can find that at foreplay.com/shop.
Let's say you're at a party, you're going on vacation, things are moving a little bit slow. Maybe you want some conversation to flow. Maybe you want to move stuff towards play. Well, we have the perfect game for you. It's called Foreplay the Game. It is a digital and physical lifestyle icebreaker game, and you can find out all about it at foreplay.com/games. That's number 4, OURPLAY.com/games.
If you don't have a lifestyle vacation planned, a resort or a cruise planned, why not? You can join us. You can find that at foreplay.com/playcation. We have not only information about the events and trips that we'll be on this year, but also other options for you as well. And it doesn't cost any extra for you to book through our links, but helps us a lot, helps us continue to be able to make this type of content for you. Now back to the show. When it comes to activities, there was, again, a lot of partying that you could always do. They had workshops and seminars that you could attend. And actually, all of their workshops and seminars on Temptation Cruise are included. The only thing is it does get busy. There's a very long line and it fills up pretty fast. So depending on what the class is, you would want to get there, at least 30 minutes early if you want to for sure get a spot. Some of the more hands-on ones. 2 of the workshops that we went to, we did a dirty talking workshop that we were a little underwhelmed with that one. It did feel more like a communication class and how to communicate your desires with your partner. And so that's a great class. But since it was described as dirty talking, we were expecting more of how to dirty talk and maybe how to get more comfortable with doing it. And we did end up leaving maybe 15 minutes before the class ended. So maybe she got into that at the end, but with 45 minutes of just like that, we ended up leaving. So, but there also we did a lap dance class, and this was during one of the port days, and we didn't get off the ship yet. And so whenever we went, there was only 6 couples in the entire class. So if you are wanting to do a workshop, if it's on a port day, you probably don't need to get there 30 minutes early because it's probably not going to fill up as soon as the ones on a sea day is. But that one was really great. It really brought us out of our comfort zone and it was very connecting for the 2 of us. And so we definitely recommend the workshops. Sometimes they can kind of, we didn't go to all of them, so we can't give like a review on every single one of them, but they definitely are enjoyable.
The same thing kind of goes with meet and greets. We did not go to any of the meet and greets that they had. They did have a couple different ones, but meet and greets, they can be hit and miss. That's how everything is on these with the activities. Sometimes you might go and make these really awesome connections or just have the best time. And sometimes maybe it's not the exact thing you thought it was, but overall, if you're going out having fun with your partner, you're going to have a good experience and you can always come and go as you please from these things.
With their meet and greets, it was very broad. It was like newbies and then veterans. So again, we didn't go to the meetups, but if it was a bit more specialized to a certain demographic or certain niche rather than it being so generalized, it might be a bit more popular. But I wouldn't say meet and greets, they don't feel like they're Temptation's main focus.
They also this time had some just vanilla activities that the Norwegian staff was hosting. We didn't go to any this time. We did last time, and we did see a couple. There was almost nobody in them. You had like scavenger hunts and things like that. So if you wanted to go do something vanilla just with your partner, maybe with a group of friends, they had some options for that. But if you were going there to do them as like an activity, one time I saw the host just talking to literally no one just because I think he had to do his job. Yeah. So definitely not the busiest, but it is nice that they have some vanilla options, which is fun if you're wanting, to take a break from the partying and just do something else.
It was like trivia, things like that. But they also did any of the activities that were hosted by the playmakers. So whenever you're reading your cruise compass and it has that's when it will be like more busy and probably a lot more entertaining to go see. So there was some trivia with the playmakers. They had a Jello wrestling. They did a scavenger hunt out at the pool. So there definitely were it was almost like they took the vanilla activities, but they did make them spicy. So those ones were usually out at the pool deck areas. Touching back on meetups for a little bit, we did do our personal meetup. So we did our private meetup for all of the 4 players, everybody who booked through us. This was my favorite one we've done to date. We had the most amount of participation. We did do it on the first day this time, and so we had a private area. We were able to do this on the very first day, and I think we had like about 75% 75% people showed up. And we did a fun like icebreaker activity and seeing everybody talk to each other. And like later throughout the cruise, we saw some couples like really like they seemed like they were best friends and they like hung out the entire cruise. And seeing that happen is like, it just brings the most joy to us ever. And this was one of the best we say this every time, but I swear we have some kind of hack. And I feel like I almost feel bad about it because I don't know if it's manifesting. I don't know if it's just alignment, but the people who are in the foreplay group have this most incredible vibe and they're just amazing people. And so we ended up even...
It's not just us saying this. We've had a lot of people in the group tell us
telling
this.
us that they're like...
So it's unbiased information.
Yes, yeah. They're saying that like we love going to the meetups, the foreplay meetups, because we meet other people who are so similar to us. And we really think it's because people who are booking with us, they're the ones taking the time to look into the lifestyle and to do the research about
Watching
the lifestyle.
these videos.
Yeah, watching these videos. So you can tell that these are like more, I would say like more serious people wanting to trying to get like the best out of the experience, right? Because they're doing some more research. So I think that is my scientific discovery.
But it was so fun. The group dinner was also awesome. We had the most people come to that's ever because I think so many people made connections the first day. And then every single night we'd be in the dance floor and like so many people from the group were in the dance area. And it's got bigger and bigger every single night. And it was incredible. So thank you to anyone who's watching this that booked through us or anyone who's booked in the past or booked in the future. Like, we appreciate it so much. And we're just so glad we're able to kind of help cultivate these areas. And it's just the most fun to see the people make the connections and then us be able to make the connections. It's really, it's incredible.
Yeah, the community is incredible. It's absolutely amazing. This was the first time that we actually didn't have time to even meet other people on the ship who weren't in the group. It's like everybody that we even that we thought we would have wanted to meet were actually already in the foreplay group.
And I'm sure there was more people that were awesome that were outside the group.
Didn't have time.
We just met so many people and there was so much fun going on that I feel like we just kind of hung out in the same area.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
that's what I say.
we
It was
loved it.
awesome. And so thank you to everyone. And it's crazy. It was so much fun.
A couple other things with activities compared to the March 25 sailing, there was no silent disco this time. And I believe they actually changed the area that was a silent disco to the playroom. So that was completely okay. I think X out the silent disco, put the playroom there, I think is way better. But the silent disco was fun last time.
It was fun. We had a lot of fun at silent disco actually last time. It was
We did.
really, really fun.
But I will say where they did I don't think they had karaoke in March of 25. So they did have karaoke this time. And karaoke was really fun. And we go to karaoke and we watch karaoke. And now I realize that you have to go with a big group of people and a big group of friends. And that's when karaoke is really, really fun. And so it was a lot of people in the foreplay group, but we all met up at the karaoke bar, I think 2 of the nights, and we kind of just took over. And like everybody was just singing, and it was so fun. One couple, they did Pink Pony Club, and I'm not joking, like 20 people went up on stage with them, including us.
I was the one time I finally felt comfortable going on karaoke because there was 20 people. I just stood in the background and it was so fun.
It was so fun. And so, yeah, karaoke was awesome.
So when they miss out on things like silent discos or whatever, other stuff pops up, and it's just always something fun going on these cruises. Next, we're gonna go into shows and entertainment. This is more like the nighttime shows and entertainment. We did not go to all of these things. There was a hypnotist, which we have seen him on previous cruises, and we enjoyed his previous shows, so I can't say that it was great on this one, but based off his previous shows that we have seen, it can get really, really fun. There was also a comedian, which we did not go to. I heard people say they were funny, but there was some pretty cool stuff. There was Erotic, which is one of our personal favorite shows. I will say if you've gone on Temptation Cruise in the past, the Erotic show is pretty similar, but for us, it's amazing every time. It's like a Cirque du Soleil meets burlesque. It's just this really cool, sensual, playful type acrobatic and all these cool acts. Like, it's really, really awesome. So we'd highly recommend going on Temptation Cruise, seeing Erotic, because it's one of the most incredible shows. They also this time had a drag show on Glow Night, and it was awesome.
We didn't exactly know what to expect with that, but it was really incredible. There was Raja, who was on a season of RuPaul's Drag Race. So she was there. She hosted this. Okay, I think it was all a surprise for the guests. And a drag queen came out and did an incredible show. I think one of the most incredible drag performances I've ever seen, even like better than a lot of performances I've seen on Drag Race. And it ended up being Antonio, who is the playroom, like the head of the playroom. And so, and is he also a playmaker? I'm not
Kind
sure.
of. He like teaches some of the heels classes.
Yeah.
And he teaches different classes and stuff. He's always around doing different stuff. I don't know what his exact title is, but he's always
with
doing
Temptation
something. Yeah.
staff. And Antonia came, but she was a drag queen, and it was an incredible performance. Came out doing Jennifer Lopez, was on the chair, jumped up, did a split off the chair. It was ridiculous. And then Raja did a performance, and then they did a drag competition. So there were some guests, and maybe 4 of them, and they went up and they did a drag competition. It was almost like lip sync battle, but drag, and it was 4 men, and so one of them on a cruise. So that's pretty cool. They had really great prizes. I think there was a couple other performances or a couple other shows that they won a cruise. I think the woman who won the Jello wrestling got a cruise. So they were definitely doing really great prizes. And we have 4 of our friends said that they wanted to do that next year. And that would be a great performance to see. And we were like right in the front too, like at the barricades.
And it was awesome because the drag show started and then the DJ was up there. So as soon as the drag show was over, they started playing music and everyone was already there. So the party just started. Like, it flowed really nicely into the party. And it was so much fun.
A critique I would say with some of the scheduling though. So whenever you would read the compass, so you would get the compass the day before that was printed out, and then you could also see a PDF of it on the Norwegian app. Some of the times weren't correct. So with that drag show, it said it was going to start at 9:45. I can't remember the exact times, but it said it was going to start at a certain time. So then a bunch of our friends, like we all went out there and we were like waiting for it to start, and then it wasn't starting. It was late. It was like almost an hour late or something like that.
And it was like 30 minutes late.
Yeah, it was more late than we thought it was going to be. And then again with like the party times, where sometimes it would start at 10 and sometimes it would start at 11. One of the times the playroom said it was going to open at this certain time, but it actually opened 30 minutes earlier. So it was just, I guess, a bit chaotic in the organization in that way whenever it came to the scheduling.
I mean, definitely like some of the classes and stuff they went to, those were all correct
the classes
times.
were correct.
It was some more of like some like the nighttime entertainment where I feel like some of this, and I don't know if it gets behind because you're doing different shows. Like, I don't know why that is, but still fun. But it was more the nighttime stuff where I feel like did sometimes cause a little bit of a headache because you might get there 30 minutes early or show up a little bit late because some of the times were a little bit off.
Yeah, I wish it was just a bit more consistent and that they stuck to it a bit more and just like made sure that the times were correct on the page. Also with the app, it would be nice if they had it to where you could heart the activities that you wanted to go to instead of only having it on the PDF format on there. Like, you would have to go through and then you'd have to screenshot it, and then it's kind of hard to see. So that would have been nice. Moving on into music, it was just party EDM music. There was a lot of, and it wasn't just straight EDM. So it was popular songs that were EDM mixes. They played really fun stuff. They played like Pink Pony Club. They played Golden one day. Sometimes they do Pepa. So it's definitely that party music, and it was a good mix to where I was able to like twerk and dirty dance and then also just kind of like be jumping. So it's definitely a good mix. There weren't other club areas or anything like that. So you couldn't go to like a country club or go to a certain area that played this certain music. So the party areas pretty much everybody congregated in that area. They did have some other live music as well. There was like an acoustic guitar player. They had the piano players. So if you wanted to see more live music like that, they did have those options. But when it came to the party music, it was pretty much the same. I kind of think some of them were like pre-made though, because it was like the same Pink Pony Club like mix like every other day. So
it's definitely more the EDM feel though, which I feel like goes with Temptation. But I said, as people who are not like EDM purist, let's say, like it's a lot of mixes. So I think if you like EDM, you're gonna have fun, or if you like pop top 40 type stuff, like it's good music to dance to.
It's party music,
but it definitely could be pre-recorded at points. But good pre-recording to me.
Yeah, it just felt like repetitive at some points. I'm like, oh, like I already heard this, which is fine, you know. But I think it's like, whenever you're like partying and you go to the club like one Saturday a week, you know, or like once a week or once every other week, and then you hear it's like woo, but then whenever you like literally just heard it the night before, you're like, oh yay, but like but you know, great, it was still fun music. And it's not like all of it was like that. It was just a couple songs that I was like, oh my gosh, yay. But if they would have done like a different Chappell Roan song, that would have been so much cooler. I'm nitpicking here.
So next we're going to jump into ports. And there's a couple different things to mention here. So port-wise, we went to 2 different ports. We went to Costa Maya, which was scheduled just like normal. You can do all of your vanilla activities that you want to do there. You can walk around the port. You can schedule those excursions. And then we ended up going to Cozumel. We were originally supposed to go to Great Stirrup Cay, Grand Stirrup Cay. I'll write whichever one is correct right here. But that is a Norwegian-owned island, and it's really fun. We got to go in the fall sailing, and you know, it was an island takeover. You could be nude at the beach. They had all the drinks and a party. It was so much fun. And it got canceled last March because of weather. Well, this year, it got preemptively canceled because the weather was going to be bad. They are currently building a port there, because right now you have to take a tender over, which is one of the little boats that you get off the ship and take a boat over to the island. So if the weather is even semi bad, it's very difficult to get there. So in the future, when that port is there, you'll be able to get off and go there, but it got canceled again. But this time I'm happy at least with what they did. Last time it got canceled like the morning of, we didn't get to go. This time, they knew the weather was going to be bad. Sailing into that weather would have made for much worse weather for the cruise anyway, and what they did was change the port to Cozumel. And so you still got your second port. You could still go do an excursion. You could still get off, walk around. There was stuff to do. I think they handled it the best they could, but I did notice that in the 2026 and 2027 sailings, that port is not on there. My guess is, I do not know this, but my guess is maybe they're going to wait until that port is finished before trying to go back there, because it has been canceled a couple times, which I feel like is a smart call, because it was disappointing that we weren't able to go, because the island is so much fun. But I'm glad they at least preemptively did stuff to have us avoid bad weather and being able to at least enjoy the ship more, be able to get up in Cozumel and do something. So I'm glad with how they handled it, but it is sad that we did not get to go.
And now moving on to the miscellaneous things that are also important. We just didn't know exactly where to put it in. So this cruise is completely clothing optional on the pool decks only. So you can't be just like nude in the dining room, like walking around the ship. You cannot do that. You do have to be covered up, but on the outdoor deck areas, at the pool areas, you could be completely nude if you wanted to be. We will say, compared to other lifestyle cruises, the participation in completely nude is pretty low. Maybe 10%, less than 10%. There is a lot of topless though, like that. Temptation Cruise has always been topless optional, and they started doing clothing optional as of fall of 2025, and it is going to continually be completely clothing optional moving forward. So the next 2 October sailings that they have, those are also going to be completely clothing optional. So that's a really cool thing to have. Most of the completely clothing optional people who like to participate in that usually do that on the sun deck roof. That's on the very, very top deck. That is a lot more quiet. It's like away from the party area. So we found that that is where more people participated in that, and not so much at the pool area. I wouldn't say like nobody participated. It's just less than we would have expected. Internet package is not included. If you do want Wi-Fi, you do have to purchase that separately. There are different options that you can get. Some have the streaming capability, and some Some of them is just using basic internet. They also have one that was standard messaging only. So you could do like Messenger on your iPhone or like text messages, but you couldn't get on like Facebook Messenger or things like that, or like Discord. Like you couldn't do that kind of messaging. So it's nice that they did have that option. I believe the cheapest option of that was like $7 a day or something to do that messaging.
Also, just note, with all cruise ship Wi-Fi, certain websites are going to be blocked. So lots of adult websites, things like that, there's always a chance they're going to be blocked. That's on every cruise ship ever. So just note about that if you are getting Wi-Fi. Sometimes you can't use like adult websites on there. The staff is awesome. This goes for the Temptation staff, the Norwegian staff. I feel like everyone truly does go above and beyond to try to just help get everyone involved. The playmakers are so personable and just so nice and kind, really get the party going, are so friendly. All the Norwegian staff is awesome. I mean, you have the people taking care of the playrooms. I mean, everyone is just working so hard to make everyone stay as comfortable as it can be, and I feel like everyone does such a good job of that.
And in conclusion, we are already booked for the upcoming Temptation cruises that are available, which is October 2026, October 2027, and we hope to see you guys on those as well. Again, you can book with us at foreplay.com/cruise. It's completely free to you, helps us out a ton. You're part of our group. If you want to, you can participate in the private activities we have on board. We have those chats for before the cruise, so you get that cruise guide PDF it's like an insider's guide for everything that you need to know. And we hope that we see you guys on board. We cannot wait. We are so excited. We love Temptation Cruise, and we can't wait to party again on it and party with you guys on it. After we got home, we talked about it, and this specific sailing is in our top 3 favorite spicy vacations that we've been on, and we've been spicy vacationing since 2021. I mean, we've been on
at
a
an
lot.
astronomical rate.
Yeah. So I think
was,
we've been on like 13 cruises now or something.
Something like that. And this was my favorite Temptation cruise by far.
Yeah, by far
I do
favorite
always
Temptation
feel
cruise.
like, on a concert, whenever the music artist like, this is the loudest city yet. I feel like every single time we're like, this is the best one yet.
Well,
it
no,
really is every
because
single time, but this one,
not March of 2025, because
That's
that's when
true.
there was a lot of new changes and a lot of things that we were like, okay, this does not feel like this. Like, it was still fun, but it was not the same as, like, it wasn't as fun as the previous ones. But now this one is better than all of them that we've been on. So
yeah, it was my favorite for sure too. So thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. Hopefully that was able to give you some information and help you decide if Temptation Cruise was the right cruise for you. But let's go ahead and jump into Bella and Jase's weekly obsession. I feel like, you know what, I'm going to go first because I feel like I know what yours are, and I feel like you love them so much that I feel like I just want you to be able to go on a rampage of talking about your weekly obsessions, because I feel like it's one of your biggest obsessions of all time ever.
okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go first, and I'll get mine out of the way so you can really hit it home. So I have a couple. One is this song called In My Truck by Breland. Breland is a country music artist, a little bit more R&B mixed with country. He has such a cool voice. He's so talented. He has a lot of songs that are just awesome, but he has a new one out called In My Truck that I really love. And then my next two are, there's 2 different ones that are kind of overlapped. So I love Sabrina Carpenter. I love Sabrina Carpenter forever. But one, I saw this reaction GIF in a TikTok comment of Sabrina Carpenter doing one of her positions in Juno, and she motorboated nothing. Like, I don't know how you describe that. She just acted like she was motorboated the air. Yeah. I love it.
Have you ever tried this one?
Yeah, and then she motorboated. And it's one of my favorite clips online ever of all time. And so I've been like using that as a reaction for everything. And then also the house tour music video came out. It is Margaret Qualley and Madeline Klein and Sabrina Carpenter, and I literally think it's one of my favorite things ever. It's one of my favorite music videos of all time. I am so obsessed with it. I've watched it too many times. I love it so much.
I think he watches it like 3 times a day
At
since
least,
it came out.
At least
I
3
think
times
it came
a
out
day.
like last week.
At least 3 times a day. I've watched it. There's millions of views. I'm a million of them. But literally, I love it,
It is really
so
good,
much.
though.
It's like it was made for me. That's how it feels.
That's
and
so You just want to get robbed by them?
Yeah, I would let them rob me blind, and I'd be thanking them for doing it. All 3 of them. So if you guys love Sabrina Carpenter or just want to see what my mind feels like, just watch the house tour music video. It's incredible. But anyway, now I think we should jump into your weekly obsessions because, I mean, I feel like this is going to be like a lively obsession.
It is
for
a
you.
lively obsession. Also, the house tour music video was directed by Sabrina Carpenter and Margaret Qualley. Did you know that?
I did.
Well,
Well, only
does
because I
say
read
that
it
on
at the
there,
end,
yeah.
but that's the only reason I knew it.
Which I think is so fun.
I do too. I
so
think
cute.
I love it. I love it.
My weekly obsession, it's not a weekly, because it's been more than a week, literally since it came out, is the Project Hail Mary movie. And I did read the book, and I will say I enjoyed the movie even more. I know, unpopular opinion, whatever. The movie is so incredible. It's so emotional. We watched it when it first, like literally the day that it came out on
At like 3:00.
like 2:00. Yeah.
I think you're one of the first time showings you could go see it.
We watched it in 40X. I've seen it in theaters 4 times now. 4 times? Maybe 3 times. 3 or 4 times. I watched it in 40X.
think 4
I watched
times.
it in IMAX the other few times. In the 7 days that it came out, I watched it 3 times. And I've watched it one more since we got back from Temptation Cruise. So maybe 4 times.
You've seen it a lot of
Yeah,
times.
I am so obsessed with it. It is my favorite movie ever. I love Ryan Gosling so much. He's been one of my favorite actors since forever, but him in this specific role, he's never looked hotter. I love a smart, nerdy guy who has humor wearing some slutty glasses. He's so hot. Oh my God, Rocky, the character Rocky is one of the best characters ever. Their relationship, and every time I think about it, I like tear up. I don't know. The last time I've been this obsessed with the movie was Wicked, which
think
wasn't that
ever.
long ago. But yeah, I'm gonna say like it's even more so than Wicked.
It's crazy.
It is.
I'm
Like,
so happy that you found it and that you love it so much. But I feel like it's all your favorite things. That's why
It
you love
is.
space.
I love space.
You love Ryan Gosling.
I love Ryan Gosling.
You love animals, but I feel like Rocky almost feels like a little
Yeah.
cute animal. So I feel like it's like combining all of your favorite things into making like the perfect movie for you. Because I'm gonna go as a person who like thinks space is cool but isn't like obsessed with space. I still think that I gave the movie like a 4.5. It's an incredible movie, like an incredible movie. And I'm like completely unbiased. It's just, I think it'll be one of the best films of the year. I hope it wins some awards because it is great storytelling. It's beautifully visually done. It's awesome. But for you,
It's gorgeous.
it's
I
a
love
it's a
it.
6.
It is my favorite movie ever. And the book, I did love the book too. I think I gave the book 4 stars. It was for me, I know it's science fiction, but it was a bit too sciencey for me. So whenever I see it visually and it's just more, I guess, like character driven, more emotional, is why I love the movie so much. So
I think
my
that makes
second,
sense.
yeah.
Because I was gonna say that's how horror books are for me. Like I feel like when they describe a monster in a horror book or like a thing, I can't see it as well. But when in the
Yeah.
movie I have like this actual representation, I feel like I enjoy it more because I get to like see it. I feel like I've never read a book like that, but I understand like the idea behind science being hard to like calculate in your mind, like how big space is, and like what this would actually look like. Because the scale, I feel like we're so unaware of. So having a visual with it, I feel like makes stuff even better.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one thing if you just read a romantic comedy book or whatever you call that, right? Is a romantic comedy book a love?
Reading a romance book?
A romance book. I know what I call a romantic comedy. A romance book. I feel like it's so easy to imagine. It's easy to imagine someone going to dinner and falling in love with these
Yeah.
things, but like it's hard to imagine the scale of space or the vastness of things like that. So I feel like that's why movies make it so good.
And in Project Hail Mary, the book, and I appreciate, because I really do also want to know the science behind things, but it's not even just like describing the space, it's saying how certain things of this works. So it's like explaining it. So it's not even like a visual thing. It's like, it's parts of it almost felt like a textbook, which I think is cool. But anyways, so yeah, that is my first obsession. And my second obsession kind of goes along with it, which is also space related, but it's the whole Artemis mission, the whole Artemis 2 mission. Oh my gosh, I think that every time I think about it, I also get emotional. Like it's so cool.
You
that
legitimately cry.
I know. No, my eyes are like actually tearing up right now.
They usually actually tears fall.
I know. Like if I keep thinking about it, I will have tears fall down.
See, that part that always makes you cry about the moon. And
I
the-
can't.
Oh, okay.
Wait, which part?
Both parts.
Oh my God, the moon joy. Oh my gosh, the part where, oh my God. Okay, so this specific one, okay. So one of the astronauts, his wife passed away a few years ago. And they found, okay, I'm probably like messing this up a lot. I'm trying to just like paraphrase it. Like, so anyways, they found a crater on the moon, like a new crater. And then they wanted to name it. And then one of the other astronauts suggested to name the crater after the other astronaut's late wife. Oh my God, is that not like, so it kind of reminded me of like when in Project Hail Mary, when.
Well, we did see that part that was so sweet. Because
What,
he
that
loved her
part?
to the moon and
Oh
back.
my God, yeah, that he loved her to the moon and back.
That's
I'm
what I feel
literally
like makes
crying.
it so.
It
I'll get you a
is.
tissue while you.
I have a tear fall down. He loved her to the moon and back, guys. And then the whole like copy heart, copy bracelet. Oh my God. And then the copy moon joy, guys. It's so cute. And then it's like crazy that they're just
What about the part about the
flying.
moon saving the Earth from all the stuff?
Oh my God, I can't. I have to like, can I read it? Let me find it. Guys. So is it the Artemis mission? Is it just the moon, or is it just space that's my obsession? All of it?
I'm just going.
This is really long. This is a really long podcast. I guess I understand what you mean now when you were like, oh, I'm going to let you go on about it.
Because see, I knew how much you loved it, and I knew that you'd want to like talk about it in full depth, and then
Do
I
people
wanted you to be
care?
able to. I hope so. I wanted you to be able to. I care. I wanted you to be able to talk about it, and I wanted to remind you about the parts that I knew you loved so much.
You remind me about the parts. I do. I forget. I have ADHD. Okay, so I saw this on Threads, and this is by the writer Camille. Okay, so she wrote, so you're telling me that the moon's many craters are from billions of years protecting the Earth by pulling space rocks into her orbit. The moon oh my God, I'm gonna cry. The moon who is depicted as a woman in countless cultures and timelines, you're saying her craters and stretch marks are evidence of care? Has someone informed the poets about this? And then someone else responded. I'm like, their name is Swala __.
It sounds like that Jason Derulo song. Swala la la.
Oh, the metaphor of invisible labor and silent hits the moon takes to protect those she loves. Well, it's the sun that receives worship and praise for life on Earth. Y'all. Oh my gosh, that's like incredible. So yeah, the whole Project Hail Mary, Artemis 2 mission, the moon, the space, like we're all just like living on this fucking floating rock and on this on Earth. Like the fact that the chances that we're all experiencing life together is so crazy and incredible. And when you think about life like that, like we're just like a little speck in the universe. So like everything doesn't matter, but at the same time everything does matter. And then like I literally was on the cruise, and there were like multiple times when I was like dancing with people, like all of our friends on the cruise and like all of our new friends and like the whole foreplay group, and then I just like look up and just like see the moon and be like, what is like life right now? Look at like all of the things that we get to experience together and all of the people that we get to meet and all of these memories that we get to create. It's just so cool. Anyways, that's my obsession. Okay,
This is
guys.
why I went first. Because I
I
knew.
wasn't expecting.
I knew
to
you were
go
going to, because
on
I know you
tangent.
that well. I knew you were going to, and I was so excited for you to be able to have the stage. I was just the opener.
Well, thank you.
But
Anyways,
thanks for
if
guys.
you're listening.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh! If you've made it this far, will you please go on my Instagram,
Or Foreplay Instagram, whichever
No,
Instagram.
my
Oh,
personal.
yours?
Yeah, my
Okay.
personal Instagram, because that one I'll actually see like everything. Go to my personal Instagram
At Hey Bella Luna.
at Hey Bella Luna, and comment like some moon emojis on whatever my most recent post is, and I will know where you come from, and I will know that you guys are the real ones, or DM it to me or something, and then I will know that you guys.
Someone listened this far.
Well, it's not even just that. It's that like you guys like we're on the same wavelength, you know? I think so. Anyways, okay. Bye, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. We know it's been a long one, but we appreciate it. We'll go ahead and hit you with the outro. Bye.
If you'd like to support the show, you can leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to our podcast. All our information will be listed in the show notes below and on our website, fourplay.com. That's the number 4, OURPLAY.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we make videos and vlogs about the swinging lifestyle. Head to fourplay.com/YouTube to watch and subscribe. We have the ultimate adult party game for the sexually inclined called Foreplay the Game that's both digital and physical. It's perfect for breaking the ice and spicing up any party. You can find more information at foreplay.com/games. We also have the best swinger lifestyle, kinky, and adult humor clothing and accessories that you can find at foreplay.com/shop. If you're looking to plan a lifestyle destination, booking through our links at foreplay.com/travel really helps support the show and helps us be able to continue to create this type of content for you. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and more. You can find all our current social media accounts at foreplay.com/socials, and I have an OnlyFans, which you can find at onlyfans.com/BellaLunaVIP. We also have a Facebook group and Discord community and would love for you to join us. You can find the direct links in the show notes below. Lastly, we're on STC and Cassidy at Foreplay, and you can get a free full membership trial by using our link. You can email us at hello@foreplay.com with any questions or comments, or head to foreplay.com/ask. Again, all our information will be listed in the show notes below, and we thank you so much for listening to our podcast. See you in the next one. Bye!